Hey, are you looking for a flavorful, high protein recipe for your meal prep this week? Then look no farther than this chili lime chicken with golden rice. Each dish has around 537 calories and 46 grams of protein. We're going to make a little rice-a-roni style rice, marinate some chicken thighs, and then prepare some broccolini for the vegetable. Bring it all together and we've got our meal prep for the week, and we're going to start out by making our rice. The other day I was thinking about how I haven't had rice-a-roni in probably 20 years, so I decided I needed myself a little San Francisco treat. Except this time, instead of using the box, I'm going to make it myself. First step, I need some tiny little noodles. You could find these at your store already good to go. If they're not next to the noodles, I would look in the Latin section, but if you need gluten-free, you'll probably have to make them yourself. You'll need about 3.5 ounces or 100 grams of the dried noodles. Because I need the gluten-free ones, I just bought some spaghetti noodles, and now I'm going to painstakingly break them down into small pieces of about a ½ inch in length. But after a couple of minutes and I've got them all ready to go, we can start cooking. Into your best rice cooking pot that you have a tight-fitting lid for, place in 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of butter over medium heat. Let the butter melt for a bit and then dump in all of your broken noodles and stir them around to coat with the butter. These are going to puff up a little bit and then you want them to start browning slightly to develop some flavor. While you're waiting for that to happen, measure out 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of onion powder, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon or 1 gram of turmeric, and then 1/2 teaspoon or 3 grams of salt. Make sure to stir your noodles often so that they don't burn, and then after 3 or 4 minutes, you should see them start to change texture and color, and once they reach this point, you are ready to move on. Next to the pot, add in 1 cup or 180 grams of dry rice, and then the bowl with all of your seasonings. Mix it all together so that the rice can be coated with the butter and the spices have the opportunity to lightly toast. Continue to stir constantly so that nothing burns, and then after about a minute or two, you can add in your liquid. You'll need 2 cups or 480 grams of chicken broth. If you want an extra little boost of protein, you'll use bone broth. I'm using this Kettle and Fire chicken bone broth, which is the sponsor of today's video. Pour the bone broth into the pot with the rice, and then I'm also going to add an extra 1/3 cup or 80 grams of water to give me enough total liquid. 560 grams of total liquid is what you need. If you have enough broth to cover that, feel free to use all broth. Now this step is very important. You must bring this liquid to a rolling boil and allow the rice to boil for 1 minute. For this rice to cook properly, we need to get it to a high enough temperature, so just a couple of bubbles in one part of the pan is not enough. If you throw on the lid and reduce to a simmer before it's had the chance to boil, your rice is going to come out mushy on the outside and hard on the inside. If you wanted a foolproof way of doing this, you could just do all the sauteing in a skillet and then move everything over into a rice cooker. When the liquid in my pot achieved a rolling boil for 1 minute, I put on a tight-fitting lid, reduced the heat to low, and allowed this to simmer for 18 minutes. Using this Kettle and Fire bone broth to cook your rice will not only get you an extra 19 grams of protein, but it also provides a deeper, richer flavor that can take your dish to a higher level. Kettle and Fire cooks all of their broths for a minimum of 14 hours for maximum nutrient extraction and flavor development. I don't think it should be a surprise to hear me say that when you use high quality ingredients in your cooking, it will make your food taste better. I like using bone broth for the fact that it's a bit more nutrient dense than your regular stocks and broths. I've tried my hand at cooking my own bone broth in the past before, and it is a lot of work. So having these Kettle and Fire bone broths that I know taste great and are made with high quality organic ingredients, I can save myself from the hassle of having to make them myself. To learn more about the benefits of bone broth and get your hands on this liquid gold, click the link in my description below. Now let's move on to the chicken. Place a large bowl over a scale and add in 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of lime juice, 1.5 tablespoons or 22.5 grams of oil, 1.5 teaspoons or 9 grams of salt, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams each of onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, and paprika, and then 1 teaspoon or 1 gram of dried oregano. Now stir all that together until everything is well combined, and then add in 2 pounds or 908 grams of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Mix that chicken around in the marinade until all surfaces are completely coated. You want to spread it out on both sides as well as all the nooks and crannies that are in these chicken thighs. Next, take a large sheet tray and spray it lightly with some oil, and then lay your chicken thighs down on top of it with the smooth side facing down. These are going into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes. My rice has been simmering for 18 minutes, so I'm going to remove it from the heat and allow this to rest for an additional 10 minutes off the burner to continue to steam. While that's happening, I'll work on my vegetables. For this recipe, you'll need a ½ pound or 227 grams of broccolini. Because this is baby broccoli, the stems are more edible than the big stuff, so I cut the stems on a bias into thin pieces, and I cut the tops into bite-sized chunks. With the butter in the rice and the oil in the chicken marinade, this dish is already fairly rich. So to help keep things light, I'm going to steam this broccoli in the microwave so I don't have to use any extra oil. I placed it all into a microwave-safe dish, added in about 40 grams of water, and then covered it with a plate to act as a lid. Then I put it into the microwave for about 90 seconds, and the texture was right about where I wanted it to be. I drained away any water that was left over in the bottom of the dish, and drizzled over 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of lemon juice, and a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. That all got stirred together, and then I set this aside until I was ready to plate. At this point, my chicken had finished cooking in the oven. Then I took about 60 grams of water, and I poured it around each piece to help lift up that marinade and create a sauce. Let that camp out for a few minutes while the water does its magic. I learned this technique from one of Brian Lagerstrom's latest videos, and it is genius. I would have never thought to do this myself. I'm going to be using this all the time in the future. If you guys have never seen Brian's channel, go check him out. He's a real chef, and he makes awesome stuff. Once that water had been sitting on the pan for a few minutes, I slapped on a pair of my blue latex gloves that I usually use to do a variety of at-home surgeries on myself with, but this time, I'm going to use them to tear apart this chicken. I've been having this weird sensitivity towards sliced or diced chicken lately where I just don't like the idea of eating it, but for some reason, hand-pulled chicken has got it going on. It tastes better, and I have no explanation for how or why. Once you've gotten all the chicken broken down into bite-sized pieces, you can toss it around in the pan to pick up all the residual sauce. Give it a quick taste test to make sure you're happy with the salt level, and then we're about ready to plate. Set your chicken aside and we'll go back to our homemade rice-a-roni that's been resting for 10 minutes. When you pop off the lid, all the water should be evaporated, and you can fluff up the rice and give it a taste test. It's going to taste awesome as it is, but if you try it out and say, this doesn't quite taste like the San Francisco true to my childhood, I feel like it's missing a little something. What you are missing is MSG. The MSG is going to give this rice a meaty punch to give you a flavor that is just like the box. This is optional, you don't have to include it if you don't want to. And now we can plate. This recipe is going to make 5 servings, so lay out 5 of your meal prep containers and divide all of the ingredients evenly between the 5. As I always say, eyeballing this to evenly divide is going to be fine for the vast majority of you. If you need everything to be perfectly accurate, just weigh and measure all of the individual ingredients and divide them by the 5. This meal rocks. I used to love rice-a-roni when I was a kid. I'd say to my mom, make me rice-a-roni right now or I'm going to walk to CPS and tell them that you beat me. And then she would make it for me. Each serving of this meal is going to have around 537 calories with 46 grams of protein. That's with the bone broth used to cook the rice. If you just use regular chicken broth, you'll have about 42 grams of protein per serving. Once all the dishes are cooled and they're done steaming, you can throw on the lids and then move them into the fridge for the week where they'll last for up to 5 days. A nice thing about this recipe is that there's almost no knife work to do to complete it. You have to cut up the broccolini, but that should only take you 2 or 3 minutes. If you're going to meal prep this recipe, and I can't stress this enough, please make sure that you use a pot that has a tight-fitting lid and ensure that you bring that rice to a rapid boil for a minute before you cover and simmer. There were a couple of times when I was testing this recipe out where I didn't follow these rules and it led to rice that was still hard on the inside. So try not to do that. The full written version with all the instructions and ingredients listed for how you can make this chili lime chicken with golden rice is published on mealprepmanual.com, and that is linked down below in the description. Okay, that's all, bye.